forever?
For 18 years.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna stop drinking while my son's living in my house, just because I don't totally love the way I do it, and he's getting to an age where he really does need me all the time in the mornings.
Wow.
Yeah. I did one school run one day where I dropped him off at school. I wasn't driving, but I was hungover, and that was enough for me. I didn't love that one.
Yeah. Another reason I don't want kids.
It's true. It's
I'm not quitting drinking.
And that is what I'm going to be discussing in today's video. My channel is about me exploring mental health, what that means to me, how it's viewed in society, and how I go about living my best life in spite of some of the ways that I feel. If that feels like something of interest to you, then please subscribe below and also turn the notifications on so you know each and every time I post a new video. So, Anne Hathaway has decided to quit drinking. Big deal? Well, I've been surprised actually by the reaction that I've seen across like my social media, particularly on Twitter, and particularly an article that was published here in the UK, someone's reaction to Anne Hathaway quitting alcohol. Now, as you'll see, I'm not gonna like go into who wrote the article. It was in The Guardian. I'm not in the business of trying to shame the people, although I have said some things personally myself as well on Twitter about it because I was quite disturbed really about what was said in the article. You'll see that the things that made me particularly uncomfortable about the article was one, the interaction between the journalist and her son, and the fact that, you know, there was kind of some flippancy around the amount of alcohol that can be drunk, that you'd have to drink a lot for it to kill you, and then like the son's like saying, well, why are you still here then? And we can look at that maybe as playful kind of joking, but for me it's really flippant and actually quite worrying. I'm an ambassador for a charity called NACOA, which is the National Association for Children of Alcoholics, and we are there to support anyone affected by their parents drinking. And so for me, I see daily and interact daily with people that feel the effects of a parent's drinking, and they're living with it daily. And there's 1 in 5 people struggling with this. So when we get some context, the flippancy of the article concerned me, was worrying, and in some ways I think it's quite dangerous. Now, The Guardian themselves, they did put out a separate story on the same day, I believe, or it might have been a day later, but it was a separate story, and it was all from children that have grown up with alcoholic parents, brave, courageous people sharing their story to shed some light on what is a big issue and something that is faced globally by a lot of people. So, you know, I know how the papers work, and I know that really they kind of don't really have objectives in what they do. They're just putting out news. But some of the reactions on Twitter as well, I found strange at times, and so it made me want to look into things a little bit more. And that's when I went to see the video of when Anne Hathaway announced that she's not going to drink anymore on the Ellen show, because I thought maybe what she was doing now, and I don't know Anne Hathaway, by the way. I didn't know who she was until this happened, so I'm like, coming from a completely non-biased standpoint, I neither like or dislike her, right? So I wanted to see, was it somebody being maybe a little bit arrogant and trying to shame parents that do drink? Because I'm against that as well. Parents that drink in a healthy manner, that have a healthy relationship with alcohol. I don't think they should be shamed for, you know, maybe using alcohol to relax on a Friday evening or something like that. I fully appreciate it can be used in that way. But what I encourage is open conversation. So I wanted to check that she wasn't shaming. And as you can see from the video that I've shown at the beginning, she's very self-aware of herself, and in the video she says that she doesn't like how she is when she drinks, and her son needs her a lot in the morning, and she wants to be there for her. So when she said that that's what she was going to do, Ellen herself made a joke about it, made light of the situation, and said, well, that's why I'm never having kids, right? Because I don't want to give up drink. Anne Hathaway is not offended. She doesn't try and shame Ellen for that. They laugh together. You'll see in the video, they are laughing together. So that's got me thinking, like, why is it across the social media that I've seen where they're discussing Anne Hathaway making this decision, some people seem to be shaming her. Some of the tweets I've seen, particularly tweets that I saw online, were some people sort of saying, how about not teaching your children extremes? How about teaching your children some balance? And look, for me, Anne Hathaway has made a balanced and informed decision based on what she believes of herself. I don't believe she's telling anyone else that they should stop drinking because she is, or I don't even think she said drinking around your children is bad. She's not said that. She said very clearly and succinctly that she is not happy with the way that she drinks. She's not happy with the person she becomes when she drinks, so she's made an informed decision to stop drinking, right? Now, as somebody who watched his dad drink himself to death in the very literal sense, and then went on to try and drink myself to death, I have personal experience of the damage that alcohol can cause. I've done many a blog post and many of a video for Nakoa's YouTube channel about the dangers of drinking and how it's not to do with quantity but to do with behaviors, and how children of alcoholics are taught not to trust, don't feel, don't talk. So the danger is real. The conclusion that I've come to is the author of the story, and possibly anybody else that feels passionately objective to the fact that Anne Hathaway has quit drinking, I would urge them people to ask themselves why they're so passionately moved in a negative manner that Anne Hathaway has quit drinking. Perhaps it's something about their own drinking, perhaps it's something about the ways that they drink, it's caused a movement within them. I know as somebody now who hasn't drank for 7 years, nearly 7 years, whenever I'm around people in a social environment where there's lots of alcohol, people ask me why I don't drink. I tell them that I had a difficult relationship with it and I made the decision to stop. And I face a lot of stigma for that. I get a lot of grief from people, and I kind of recognize today that the people that get a little bit kind of angry and stressed with me is because when I say I made that decision, I'm holding a mirror up to them. And it's my belief that the people that get angry with me and tell me that I should just have one and that it's silly that I shouldn't have to stop altogether and that's silly and all that kind of stuff, is because I've created a feeling within them that makes them feel uncomfortable. And that is my belief. So that's where I'm at with it, really. I think what Anne Hathaway has done is brilliant. I think more people should be looking at their relationship with alcohol and how that affects them as a parent, and I think we should be all be able to challenge ourselves. If you're able to drink well and in a healthy manner as a parent, I think that's great too. If you make the decision to stop, I think that's great too. I think if you're on either sides of them fences and what somebody else is doing makes you really angry, then there's a problem behind that. Naturally, I was quite angry by the article. It did make me a little bit angry, and I know why it made me angry. It's because of my personal experiences, my life experiences. And so if you're on the other side of the fence and you're somebody who believes that you drink really, really healthy, but Anne Hathaway stopping drinking makes you angry, I don't believe that's Anne Hathaway's fault. I don't believe that's because of something that Anne Hathaway's done. I believe that's because of something within your life. I've made a previous video addressing our relationship with alcohol, and I do believe that everybody should be able to challenge themselves, not in an angry manner, but just challenge where your drinking is at. And if you're able to do that and come away thinking that you're okay, then you're okay. But if this moves you to anger, then for me, there is an issue. So if you do want to leave some views or some of your own views on this in the comments, I'd love to hear them. Give us a like if you like the video as well. Give us a dislike if you don't like the video. But also subscribe, because I'm going to be talking a lot more topical as well when I can now, because I've really enjoyed this today.